In the bustling studio of The View, the atmosphere was electric as Tim Allen took his seat among the co-hosts, including the formidable Whoopi Goldberg. The audience buzzed with anticipation, knowing Allen's reputation for outspoken conservative views often clashed with the show's more liberal leanings. As the segment began, the conversation started innocently enough, touching on Allen's latest projects and his return to sitcom television, but tension simmered beneath the surface, ready to boil over at any moment. Whoopi, ever the sharp-witted moderator, steered the discussion toward current events, probing Allen about his thoughts on political correctness and comedy. Allen, with his trademark gruff charm, defended his style, saying that humor should push boundaries without fear of backlash. The exchange grew heated as Whoopi challenged him, pointing out instances where his jokes had offended marginalized groups. Allen fired back, arguing that society had become too sensitive, and that true comedy required freedom from censorship. The audience gasped as the back-and-forth intensified, with other co-hosts trying to interject but failing to diffuse the situation. Whoopi, unflinching, accused Allen of being out of touch with modern sensibilities, while he retorted that the show itself was a bubble of one-sided opinions. The verbal sparring reached a crescendo when Allen stood up abruptly, declaring he wouldn't be silenced or lectured on a platform that claimed to value diverse voices. Security was called as the producers scrambled behind the scenes, and in a shocking turn, Allen was escorted off the set mid-broadcast. The camera captured the stunned faces of the hosts and the murmuring crowd, turning what was meant to be a promotional appearance into a viral spectacle. Social media erupted immediately, with hashtags like #TimAllenvs.Whoopi trending worldwide. Supporters of Allen praised his stand against what they saw as liberal bias, while critics lauded Whoopi for holding her ground. The incident sparked debates on free speech, celebrity clashes, and the role of talk shows in polarizing discourse. Analysts dissected every word, replaying clips that showed the exact moment the argument escalated from debate to confrontation. Allen later released a statement via his representatives, expressing disappointment but standing by his words, emphasizing that he felt ambushed rather than engaged in fair dialogue. Whoopi, on the next episode, addressed the chaos, defending the show's commitment to tough conversations while wishing Allen well in his endeavors. The fallout extended to ratings, with The View seeing a spike in viewership as curious fans tuned in for recaps and reactions. This clash wasn't just a momentary blip, it highlighted deeper cultural divides, making it a talking point for weeks. Pundits on both sides weighed in, some calling it a setup for publicity, others a genuine eruption of ideologies. In the end, the event cemented Tim Allen's image as a no-nonsense figure unafraid to walk away, and Whoopi as the unyielding voice of reason in a stormy sea of opinions. The studio lights dimmed that day, but the controversy illuminated broader issues in entertainment and politics alike. Reflecting on the build-up to the infamous clash, it's clear that Tim Allen's invitation to The View was fraught with potential for fireworks from the start. Known for his roles in Home Improvement and Last Man Standing, where his characters often embodied traditional values, Allen had long been a lightning rod for controversy. Whoopi Goldberg, with her decades of experience in film, comedy, and activism, represented a contrasting worldview shaped by progressive ideals and social justice advocacy. The producers likely anticipated some sparks to boost ratings, but no one foresaw the blaze that ensued. As the interview progressed, topics shifted from lighthearted banter about Allen's career to heavier subjects like cancel culture and freedom of expression. Allen shared anecdotes from his stand-up days, lamenting how comedians now tread carefully to avoid outrage mobs. Whoopi countered by highlighting the responsibility that comes with a public platform, urging empathy over edginess. The dialogue turned personal when Allen referenced past Hollywood feuds, implying bias against conservative voices, which Whoopi dismissed as excuses for insensitivity. Voices rose, gestures became animated, and the other hosts exchanged uneasy glances as the exchange devolved into a shouting match. Allen accused the panel of ganging up on him, while Whoopi insisted he was deflecting valid criticisms. In a dramatic pivot, Allen removed his microphone, declaring the discussion unproductive and biased. The live audience erupted in a mix of boos and applause, creating chaos in the studio. Producers cut to commercial, but not before cameras caught Allen storming offstage, muttering under his breath. Backstage reports later leaked, describing heated words with staff as he was ushered out. The incident made headlines across major networks, with clips going viral on platforms like YouTube and TikTok. Commentators analyzed body language, tone, and context, debating who was at fault. Allen's fans rallied online, starting petitions to boycott The View, while Whoopi's supporters praised her poise under pressure. The show's PR team worked overtime to spin the narrative, emphasizing their dedication to open dialogue despite occasional tensions. In interviews following the event, Allen joked about the ordeal on podcasts, turning it into material for his comedy routines. Whoopi, ever resilient, used it as a teachable moment on subsequent episodes, discussing the importance of respectful disagreement. The clash exposed fissures in American culture, where entertainment intersects with politics, often explosively. Ratings soared as reruns and analyzes kept the story alive, proving that controversy sells. Ultimately, this shocking TV moment served as a reminder that even in controlled environments like talk shows, raw human emotions can shatter the script and create unforgettable television history. Delving deeper into the aftermath of Tim Allen's ejection from The View, the ripple effects were felt far beyond the studio walls. Media outlets scrambled to cover the story, with entertainment reporters interviewing eyewitnesses and analyzing footage frame by frame. Social media platforms became battlegrounds, where users debated the merits of each side's arguments, often descending into partisan bickering. Allen, leveraging his platform, appeared on conservative-leaning shows to recount his version, portraying the incident as an ambush by a left-leaning panel. Whoopi Goldberg, in contrast, maintained her composure in public statements, focusing on the value of challenging conversations without regret. The View's co-hosts weighed in during follow-up segments, some expressing surprise at the escalation, others defending the show's format. ABC executives issued a neutral statement, acknowledging the heated exchange but reaffirming support for diverse viewpoints. Legal experts speculated on potential lawsuits, though none materialized, as both parties seemed content to let public opinion decide. Fan reactions varied wildly. Allen's base saw him as a hero standing against censorship, while critics labeled him thin-skinned for walking out. Whoopi's admirers celebrated her as a trailblazer unafraid to confront power. The event inspired memes, parodies, and even Saturday Night Live sketches, amplifying its cultural impact. Industry insiders whispered about blacklisting fears, wondering if Allen's outburst would affect future bookings. Meanwhile, The View's ratings hit record highs, turning a potential PR disaster into a boon. Allen promoted his new show amid the buzz, cleverly tying the controversy to themes of free speech in his scripts. Whoopi continued her activism, using the platform to advocate for inclusivity. Psychologists opined on the psychology of such clashes, citing ego, ideology, and adrenaline as key factors. The incident prompted discussions in media ethics classes, examining boundaries between entertainment and confrontation. Online forums dissected quotes, with phrases like "I'm not here to be lectured" becoming rallying cries. Merchandise popped up, from t-shirts to mugs, capitalizing on the drama. In a twist, some suggested the whole thing was staged for publicity, though denials from both sides quashed that theory. As weeks passed, the fervor died down, but the legacy lingered, influencing how guests prepare for talk shows. It underscored the precarious balance of live TV, where unpredictability reigns. Tim Allen emerged unscathed, his career bolstered by the notoriety, while Whoopi solidified her status as a formidable force. This brutal exchange wasn't just a clash of personalities, it was a microcosm of America's divided soul, played out on national television for all to see and judge. Exploring the prelude to the explosive encounter on The View, it's essential to understand the personalities involved and the context that set the stage for drama. Tim Allen, a comedy veteran with a blue-collar persona, has often infused his work with conservative undertones, appealing to heartland audiences. Whoopi Goldberg, an EGOT winner and cultural icon, brings a wealth of experience from stand-up to serious drama, always championing progressive causes. Their paths had crossed before in Hollywood circles, but never in such a charged setting. The invitation stemmed from Allen's promo tour for his latest series, expecting standard fare of clips and chit-chat. However, The View's reputation for probing questions meant politics were inevitable. As cameras rolled, initial pleasantries gave way to substantive debate. Allen expressed frustration with Hollywood's liberal dominance, citing examples of conservative actors being sidelined. Whoopi pushed back, arguing for accountability in comedy that doesn't punch down. The argument intensified when personal anecdotes surfaced, with Allen recalling cancelled shows and Whoopi sharing stories of discrimination. Tensions peaked as interruptions flew, each accusing the other of not listening. Allen's decision to leave was spontaneous, shocking even his publicist. The live feed captured the raw emotion, from flushed faces to pointed fingers. Post-incident, apologies were absent, with both doubling down on their stances. Media frenzy ensued, with tabloids splashing headlines and talk radio dissecting every angle. Supporters organized online campaigns, some calling for Whoopi's removal, others boycotting Allen's projects. The View adapted by inviting counter guests to balance perspectives, turning lemons into lemonade. Allen's comedy tour sold out, fans eager for his take on the fiasco. Whoopi's book sales spiked as readers sought her wisdom on conflict. Cultural critics viewed it as symptomatic of broader polarization, where dialogue breaks down into discord. Late-night hosts lampooned the pair, easing tension through humor. In retrospect, The Clash highlighted the challenges of bridging divides in a fragmented media landscape. Both emerged stronger, their brands reinforced by the authenticity of the moment. The event spurred think pieces on civility and discourse, urging better moderation on shows. Ultimately, this shocking TV clash exposed the fragility of civility when ideologies collide, leaving an indelible mark on pop culture and reminding viewers that behind the glamour, real passions burn bright. In the wake of the stunning altercation between Tim Allen and Whoopi Goldberg on The View, the entertainment world buzzed with speculation and analysis. What began as a routine guest spot morphed into a defining moment of 2025 television. Allen's abrupt exit not only halted the broadcast but ignited a firestorm of commentary across platforms. Pundits on CNN and Fox News offered contrasting takes, one side decrying censorship, the other applauding accountability. Social media algorithms amplified the divide, pushing content to echo chambers. Allen, in a podcast appearance days later, detailed feeling cornered by the panel's questions, insisting his walkout was a stand for principle. Whoopi, addressing viewers directly, emphasized the show's role in fostering tough talks, without apology for her vigor. Co-hosts shared mixed feelings. Some felt the exchange went too far, others saw it as necessary. ABC's response was measured, promising internal reviews while celebrating high engagement. The incident boosted streaming views of old episodes, as fans revisited past controversies. Merchandisers capitalized with slogan tees like "Walked Off the View" becoming hits. Comedians incorporated bits into routines, poking fun at both parties. Legal ramifications were minimal, but reputation management firms worked overtime. Public opinion polls showed split support, mirroring national divides. Allen's new show premiered to strong numbers, the buzz proving promotional gold. Whoopi's activism gained traction, with donations to causes she championed surging. Academics studied the event for communication breakdowns, citing nonverbal cues as escalators. The clash inspired a wave of similar on-air moments, as shows chased viral potential. In Hollywood, agents advised clients on handling adversarial interviews. The Legacy, a cautionary tale on the perils of live TV, where scripts can't contain human volatility. Both stars moved on, but the memory lingered, referenced in award speeches and roasts. This brutal exchange didn't just expose a clash, it revealed the raw underbelly of celebrity interactions, where egos and ideals spar publicly. As time heals, perhaps reconciliation looms, but for now, it stands as a testament to the power of unfiltered dialogue in an era craving authenticity amid artifice. Wrapping up the saga of Tim Allen's dramatic departure from The View following his brutal exchange with Whoopi Goldberg, the incident continues to resonate in cultural conversations. What could have been a forgettable promo turned into a landmark event, symbolizing the clash between traditional and progressive values in media. Allen's post-event interviews painted a picture of frustration with what he called gotcha journalism, vowing to choose platforms more carefully. Whoopi, resilient as ever, used the platform to advocate for empathy in debates, turning negativity into positivity. The View's format came under scrutiny, with suggestions for better guest vetting. Ratings remained elevated, proving the adage that no publicity is bad publicity. Fan letters poured in, some supportive, others critical, reflecting diverse viewer bases. Allen channeled the energy into creative output, hinting at a memoir chapter on the ordeal. Whoopi's co-hosts rallied around her, strengthening team bonds. Broader implications touched on free speech debates, with organizations citing it in campaigns. Satirical shows parodied the moment, easing societal tension through laughter. Industry panels discussed ethics, urging respect in confrontations. In the end, both emerged unscathed, their careers enhanced by the notoriety. The shocking TV clash exposed vulnerabilities in discourse but also opportunities for growth. As America grapples with division, such moments remind us of the human element in public figures. Perhaps one day, a reunion episode could mend fences, but until then, it remains a vivid chapter in television history, cautioning against unchecked passions while celebrating bold voices.